game, we're going to be seeing on the side of Abraxas, Ascendancy playing the Clinks, Pwn playing the Tusk. That'll leave Luffy to support on the Lion, alongside Zenigata on the Boots first Night Stalker. So we've got At the Speed of Life rushing out a bottle here on the Shadow Fiend, and looking over the side of Epidemic, Kure looks to be offlaning on the Queen of Pain. Look at all that regen. 3 different sets of regen for the Queen of Pain. Villic is going to be running around with a bounty hunter, and I'd like to call him offlane, but really he is anti-jungle and roaming. And what that means is he's essentially just going to be spamming out these clarities, using his Shadow Walk very frequently, and using the Orb of Venom to really punish supports that get out of position, mess with the jungle, try to block off camps or mess up pulls, and then of course he can roam towards the mid and try to frustrate the Shadow Fiend if At the Speed of Life puts himself in a bad position. But he's already going to have an early Sentry Ward here from Luffy, so he'll be more likely to survive for the first 5 minutes of the game. And yeah, we'll have to keep our eyes on Villic at all times. And the other members of Epidemic, we're going to be seeing Mambos on the PL carry, Kranich on the Lina Null Tally start mid, and then it's going to be Seini on the Winter Wyvern. Now, I will note one really cool thing that they're doing for Kranich right here. They're giving him Sentry Wards as well as a shared Tango, and the reason why that's so good is because the change where you can actually use Tango on wards to instantly kill them. So what you do, Kranich's going to be eating the Snowball. It's going to be Pwn to actually snatch that, but now going to be eating a Light Strike Array, the Arctic Burn, and the Spirit Lance, and while it's a nice little cheeky play, he will be paying for it with his life. Oh, it looks like it. No! He's actually going to keep on the run. The Healing Salve comes out, Kranich can't get in range for the LSA, and Tusk is out. I can't believe that Kranich couldn't actually set up the second Light Strike Array. It looks like he went for too many auto attacks there, and as a result, he's not able to keep up with the Tusk. I mean, he does have a 10 movement speed disadvantage as well, but I feel like it was much more about how many auto attacks Kranich went for instead. You should get 2 Light Strike Arrays in that position, and that should set you up really well for the early game, and for the early ganks like that. So, in the end, Tusk, with the help of Healing Salve, is able to snatch that Bounty Rune. Really good trade-off there, as Kranich is now significantly behind the Shadow Fiend. The Bounty Hunter here was here, leeching a little bit of experience, and of course the Shadow Fiend got a bounty while the Lina did not, so he is already level 2. Kranich just now hitting it, and of course Shadow Fiend has that bottle. Now, like I was talking about before, there is this Sentry Ward and this Tango. So Kranich immediately takes care of this Sentry Ward with his shared Tango, and he's restoring 15 health per second because they're that much more delicious. So now they've got the ability to move around more with the Bounty Hunter in this lane, as well as the Observer Ward, which should stick around for a little bit longer. Looking at the other lanes, though, we've got Tusk taking some pressure here from the PL Wyvern combo. Good aggression there. In the meantime, Kure is trying to mess with the jungle in the bottom, and is actually going to be eating both the Hex and the Earth Spike. So I'm going to have to Healing Salve here, but like I said, lots of regen for him, and he should be able to be okay. Meantime, Tusk, oh my. Tusk and Night Stalker, double combo. Going to be coming in with the Snowball, the Ice Shards, and the Void, and allows them to kill off the Wyvern, who is pretty slow on her feet. 285 movement speed. Couldn't Arctic Burn over the trees as it was on cooldown. In the meantime, we're going to be looking at Mambos here, having a lot harder time farming, but he's going to be at least going for the Phantom Rush play here onto the Night Stalker, putting some real damage into him. Looks like Luffy will be fine in his own jungle, and Kranich actually going to be getting a very nice rune here. Regeneration rune, even without a bottle, is still going to put him back in this lane in a big way, although, of course, SF already has a pretty big advantage here. Just a slight last hit advantage, but that gives him his max souls right now, and Kranich has some ground to make up for sure. So Night Stalker, we'll have to keep our eye on him as well. He's all about the roaming. He's all about the early movement across the map, and obviously Kranich can see him here day or night because of this Observer Ward. So, still going to be taking some pressure here from Zenigata, but not really anything that could hurt him. And the bottle's going to be coming through very shortly, so he's actually pretty happy about this situation because he's got a lot of regen to work with. Meantime, though, the Bounty Hunter is roaming in, and we'll see if Shafine oversteps his bound a little bit. One good Janata or a Venom Strike, and that's a Light Strike Array, and At the Speed of Life is going to be eating the full combo of the Lina, but is it enough damage to bring him down? Dropping him down to 50 HP. He will bottle up. Villic walking away just barely at 10 HP. Phantom Rush up top. Pwn's going to be taking some some hits here, and will almost bring him down, but you gotta remember that Arctic Burn only does current damage, current percent HP damage, so that means Mambos has to Phantom, or got Doppelganger in for the kill. Now it's gonna be Zenigata caught out a little bit, LSA connects, allowing Villic to get in for more Aura Venom hits. Now one more Dragon Slave will seal the deal, and that brings the kill score 2-1. Tusk coming back up top here, ready to fight it out a little bit more. PL's out of mana. Stenny is really low, but he does have 2 clarities. Curry's just got the magic wand. He's not doing great on experience, but he's doing better than the Tusk, so I mean it still works out pretty well. No Sentry Woods here on the top, so they do not see Villic making his move, and Pwn could be in a little bit of trouble. They just need one more bit of reinforcements here. Arctic Burn Splinter Blast combo should be enough to put him in a bad spot and force the Snowball, which they can then retreat on to put him in a bad position. First Arctic Burn, now the joinDOTA. He's going to have to Snowball for sure. First the Ice Shards to come out, but he's taking way too much damage, and he Snowballs right onto Villic. In the meantime, Mambos taking a lot of damage from the Night Stalker. Villic's diving for this. It's going to be PL to go down, and the Gondar will fall too. He dove on this Tusk, and just gets baited by the Magic Wand. A very significant misplay coming from Villic, and it cost them 2-0. Now Pwn looking to man up with this Snowball. He has the vision, brings the Night Stalker to the front line, and they void down the Wyvern as well. A 3-0 play up top. Beautiful execution for Pwn and Zenigata, and you just gotta respect how durable these heroes can be. Pwn here is 4 armor, 830 HP, and he does have both Stout Shield and Magic Wand, so spells and attacks are not as effective as you'd like them to be. Zenigata here, obviously very naturally tanky with high strength and armor, and he stayed involved for a long time as well. So that combined with really good use of the Snowball on the closest target there, the Bounty Hunter, allowed them to just absolutely decimate the side of Epidemic. Now we're going to see a rotation mid, but we'll have our eyes on bottom as Ascendancy is really, really low in HP. No detection means it is going to be Clinks to survive for now, but the Sonic Wave hits onto 2, and both of them will be going down. Nice play from the Queen of Pain just after hitting level 6. Able to go for an interesting skill build, but effective enough. Kranich going to be eating too much damage here in the mid lane, though. It looks like he will go down, and Shadow Fiend picks up 29 souls as a result. Really good Necromancer stacks for him. Down from Rune is going to be Zenigata, 1v2. Looks like he's going down. He's going to try to sacrifice himself to Roshan, but Kure has his number with this Shadow Strike. So, good clean kill. Looks like the deny could come through from an Ascendancy. Scream is not going to connect, and they just bottle him up, turning it around as best they can, and they will bring down the Queen of Pain. So, nice Snowball, nice turnaround, and with the bottle, Zenigata lives with 50 HP. Oh my, I thought they were just going to go for the deny, but they were able to bottle in between the ticks while putting pressure on the Queen of Pain. And I was going to talk about the skill build a little bit here. The fact that Queen of Pain only has 2 points of discreet gave her the extra point in Shadow Strike for better lane harass, and it also has 10 less mana that she needs for her combo. But of course, not having damage means she doesn't get any chance to kill the Tusk there, and obviously there's pros and cons to the skill build. Still, I think Kure is pretty happy with how he's performed this game, considering that Sonic Wave double kill. The problem is now we're seeing ABRAXAS pretty much outplaying them with the Tusk for the most part. Tusk in general has been really wherever he needs to be on the map so far this game, and he's been responding really well to situations. The end result of that is Bounty Hunter is only 1-1-1, has not sniped a courier, and therefore is really far away from track gold. We are going to see a nice Shadow Strike. Kranich can just go for a Laguna Dragon Slave, but they'll have to get vision of it first, and they won't even need the Laguna now. Actually going to be Tusk coming in here. He does not want to snowball this. This would be a huge mistake to extend himself this far forward, but he has enough burst damage with the Walrus Punch to at least make it a 1-for-1, and Kranich is just running back and forth in the river here, not finding the LSA counter kill. Oh my, I mean, there's so many ways Kranich can find that kill with the Laguna Blade still up, but he was having pathing issues as well as range issues, and the Queen of Pain did not go up here as I expected. He went down into this hovel And in this spot, he's completely isolated and completely dead. Now, knowing the burst damage of Walrus Punch, he's probably dead either way that plays out. But if you run towards the river, Kranich gets the Light Strike Array, and you get the counter kill on this level 7 Tusk. So I would say that it's almost worth it to trade your offlaner for your offlaner in that situation, getting even more golden momentum towards her Yule Scepter. But because Queen of Pain runs over here instead of up here, he is not able to get that counter kill. Does drop down the Laguna Blade shortly thereafter, and kills off the Night Stalker. I believe I missed that, but it's not the game that Epidemic were looking to start out with. They're going to have to get a little bit more momentum for themselves here. Now, Ascendancy is stocking up on Kure, but you have to keep in mind Kure does have the Dust of Appearance, so a +1 could be a kill on the Clinks, and in fact, he's going to find it right here. The bottle regen, he needs to work on his mana pool first and foremost, but at least he's able to get some good damage onto Ascendancy. And that Death Pact is nice, but with the Soul Ring health cost, it pretty much breaks even in terms of how much it buffs him up. He's going to probably Soul Ring, Death Pact this Centaur, but we're going to actually look at top, where Pwn is going to be hit by a couple of spells here, and Ice Shards is going to actually kind of imprison him as well, and that will be the 7th kill for Epidemic. Let's look at this kill distribution a little bit, because I think that's a pretty important aspect of this game so far. 4 kills on the Tusk. He's also saved a couple of lives here. 2 kills on the Night Stalker. As both of these guys, Zenigata and Pwn, have been very, very involved across the map. In the meantime, Clinks and Lion haven't really gotten anything. 1 assist for Ascendancy, but that's about it. 2 kills for the Queen of Pain, 2 kills for the Lina. And, yeah, just kind of spreading the love among the other 3. What that means is, essentially, we're going to see a better experience spread on the cores of Epidemic, whereas the Clinks is actually a little bit further behind. He's going to be under-leveled for the earlier stage here, but, I mean, it doesn't look too bad because he's at the beginning of level 8. Still going to come down to the first major clash, I would say, but Epidemic don't want that to happen until they get Track online. So we'll wait. Villic will play a little bit safe, and just look to leech towards level 6. Early net worth favors the side of Epidemic at nearly 1,000 in advantage, and then about 700 experience favoring Epidemic, but not that convincing. Now we're going to see the Winter Scares come out onto Pwn. He's just going to answer back with a snowball. The Finger of Death will kill the Bounty Hunter, and I think Sani is dead as well. The Arctic Burn has expired, and he is going to be Walrus punched down. They are going to lose the tower, as they do not deny it or kill the Catapult, but I still think that's worth 2 kills, especially on the enemy carry. I mean, when you have a Ring of Aquila Phantom Lancer pushing on that tower is going to be gone no matter what you do. It's kind of a liability more than anything else. So, if you just killed the Wyvern and you lost the tower, it's a gold disadvantage. But, like I said, I think that eventually that PL would take the tower anyways, and they don't want to just keep having to come back to that lane and babysit that lane to feel good about their position on the map. We're going to see an active smoke gank coming through here. Phase Boots on Tusk, so he's going to be leading the charge. Actually has to wait for his allies to catch up a little bit. But the question is whether or not they find Villic in Invis. Villic is lacking on mana. He only actually has enough for 1 spell, and that spell decision is going to be pretty important. I think he'll Shadow Walk and refresh that, and then he'll be able to use the Magic Stick in the fight to get that Shuriken out. I think that's the best way you can play this kind of 177 mana pool that he's looking at. So, some pings coming out here, as well as a disconnect coming in from the Winter Wyvern. Queen of Pain pauses so Sani can get back in, and this is a pretty critical timing, I would say. I mean, the Winter Wyvern is all the way back here, not doing too much, doesn't have her ultimate, and really, then it comes down to what happens to Kranich, I would say. Because Lina is not a very defensive core hero. She can't really use her abilities while she's being heavily pressured. Yeah, she has the Light Strike Array, might be able to get a stun on the snowball right when it hits on her, but she's still going to be killed off before she casts anything else. That's just the nature of the snowball Walrus Punch. So the idea here is if Kranich stays in such an offensive position here on the wrong side of the tower, they're going to be able to jump him very easily, and they are going to be able to bring him down. A lot of burst damage with this Clinks, even level 1 strafe at 4 seconds. With the Medallion of Courage, you can pretty much kill a hero in 3 or 4 seconds. Just a lot of burst damage. It kind of comes down to the death pack, though, as well. And you see Clinks is pinging out that they've blocked off this spawn, which is actually really important for him. As you look at his creep options, there's a Hellbear all the way over here. He has to actually come up to this top cliff area, and then he can death pact it. Or he can go over and, well, actually all these are pretty terrible. 500 HP on the Ghost, 600 HP on the Satyr Mindstealer. Yeah, he really wanted this camp because it's so convenient, but look at the clock, 12 minutes hit, and Luffy and Pone are both within that spawn box, so unfortunate. Meantime, Mambos is just farming up. He does not have a TP scroll. He will not be in this next fight, and we'll see how the smoke gank plays out. That phase boots Tusk. He wants to move in. He's going to look to charge up this snowball right on the Lina. They do not have a glyph, though, so they have to go early with just the Tusk alone. He'll go get the Walrus Punch Ice Shards out, and he will be able to bring Kranich down with the help of Luffy. Now the Shadow Fiend's here, and they've scared off the Queen of Pain, but they don't know about Villic just yet. So like I said, it only takes about 3 seconds to kill a hero, but with the Cold Embrace, it's going to add a lot more to her lifespan. Still, though, she will be falling in the end. No blink out, and the Snowball will actually catch onto Sani. They're going to lose the Wyvern as well, and that is going to bring the kill count 12-7. Sure, PL gets to keep farming freely, but they're going to take 3 kills and a tower here, and this is going to give ABRAXAS a huge swing forward in momentum. Luffy's Blink Dagger is going to be up in no time at all, and really that's all they need to start engaging on their opposition. They can go for Aghanim's Scepter on the Night Stalker, since he's doing really well for himself too, and when you get Aghanim's Gem on Night Stalker, the Bounty Hunter, unless he has a Blink Dagger, is probably unable to scout and to track, which is a really big deal in my mind. This is important, though, this decision from At the Speed of Life, and it's a hard decision to make, but there's pros and cons to both kind of branches of decision making here. He goes for the Blink Dagger instead of the Mechanism. Mechanism is only a little bit more expensive. He would have it right now if he didn't go for the Blink, but he decides to go for the Blink Dagger, and for that reason he better make use of it, is what I'm saying, because by default I would say Mechanism is a stronger pickup. You prevent track kills, keep your allies alive. It's really good to survive against the Laguna Blades and the Sonic Waves that are flying out. Actually, Sentinel going to be dusted, caught out here, no tower to TP2 means he is absolutely dead, and it's just going to be a moment longer before they finish him off. In the meantime, though, they will be able to find out the Bounty Hunter here actually losing out the Night Stalker, though. The initiation came pretty quickly against the Night Stalker first. They'll get the counter kill on the Bounty Hunter in because of that. So that gets Bounty Hunter up to level 6. He has his Urn of Shadows, he has 2 charges on it. And it's actually a pretty important kill for him, even if he does go down in the process. But yeah, I would say, yeah, by default, the Mechanism is a stronger pickup because of the state of the game. But if you use this Blink Dagger really well, and I mean constantly using Blink to farm and get in position to farm quickly, using it to jump and nab runes before your opponent can, using it to dodge projectiles early on, as well as the possible jump for your spells, using Requiem and Raises to their maximum effectiveness due to repositioning. All of that can make this a stronger pickup. It's all about how At the Speed of Life uses the Blink Dagger to really maximize his potential, and then of course he'll probably get BKB or Mechanism next. Another drawback to this pickup is the fact that Kranich has just picked up a Yule Scepter Divinity. Yules will put that Blink on cooldown. Ooh. And, oh no, Sani. I'm not sure what he was thinking about there, but we're going to see Zenigata go on Kure first. He looks to be fine. There's not really that much burst damage coming after Zenigata, and in fact, they're going to go and try to kill him instead. They've got the Wyvern coming in from the high ground, but Zenigata at nighttime swiftly retreats. So, yeah, it was a very odd decision from Sani to actually go for that D ward, because that was an observer under a sentry. Like, they didn't see the ward being placed, they didn't see the sentry ward in play, but by revealing himself suddenly under that ward, they revealed the smoke gank, and they didn't get any kill because of it. Now we'll see Ascendancy, though, nuked down by the Laguna Blade. Nice level 11, just barely has enough mana for the full combo, but now has to disengage quickly. 440 MS with the Fiery Soul. Villic in some trouble here, looks like he'll be going down. gets the invis! Oh my, they're gonna have to dust for it, and that's another expense, but in the end they do get the kill. Now Pone in a bad little spot here. He snowballed forward earlier, and he didn't get the kill on the Lina. Instead, he gets dropped down, and that is actually feeding a lot of momentum back the other way. The Winter's Curse came out on the Tusk, saving the Lina's life, and that nice little play from Saini will actually allow Epidemic to kind of hold this front line. Now you'll see the golden experience dropping back down to 0. And yeah, I see some real potential for Epidemic to start taking fights again. I mean, Kurei's got his Aghanim Scepter in just 800 gold, and he's going to farm that up quickly. So I think I would really like to see from ABRAXAS here another smoke play. They just got the Blink Dagger on the Lion. They know that Epidemic are profiting a lot from the last kill exchange, and they need to prevent them from getting their next tier of items, because PL with another item, Queen of Pain with another item, they get very scary very quickly. So if they can make the smoke blink play now, they can actually find a bit of redemption for the kills they just fed away. In the meantime, though, that Bounty Hunter is stalking things up, and detection is lax on the Radiant side. No detection whatsoever on the side of ABRAXAS, and this gives Bounty Hunter almost free reign. All he has to do is invis before he gets hexed, or before he gets crippling feared. I say at the very least, the Tusk should be carrying the dust instead of the Stout Shield, because he can go for the Blink Snowball and the dust, and that would be plenty to kill the Gondar. At least right now, though, the Shadow Fiend is pushing it out. The Observer Ward, freshly placed out, is gonna make it impossible for him to be bait, though. There's gonna be aggressive pushing coming in from Mambos, going in for a pretty standard build, I would say. Ring of Aquila, Treads, Drums, very popular in China, as far as his all-around stats build. And although he did segue into a Morbid Mask to sustain himself, he's probably still gonna go for the Diffusal Blade next. In fact, on the Courier, you can see it, just one recipe away.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Kranich in the charge with the Yule Scepter here. They do see Zenigata on the back lines. They also know his Darkness is on cooldown and it's daytime. This Walker is actually the perfect target, but Kurei exposes himself maybe for the tower deny. Oh no! Walks into a death trap. And with the Queen of Pain down for 40 seconds, that's a tier 2 tower. I don't see any way Epidemic engage without the Queen of Pain, even with the Lina being as farmed as she is. Oh no, that was a very critical pick-off. They're going to split push, they're going to try to rat it out a little bit, but there is absolutely no way that they can hold this front line, and they're not going to get this bottom tower either. Luffy's here already. And looking for the jump, goes for Kranich, Finger of Death brings him down. Luffy will trade it for his life, but that's a trade he's happy to make, as he makes a very nice jump there on the Lina. Now Mambos in some trouble, Doppelganger away, but they see him. He tries to juke it out. He is juking it out with the illusion. The illusion is going to bait Ascendancy and the Speed of Life and almost get him out of here. He Doppelgangers again, and he kills off Pone in the process, going for the TP at the Speed of Life. Doesn't kill him! Mambos, what a freaking play coming out from the Phantom Lancer. He fakes him out with the illusion. Ascendancy, the Blinks, and at the Speed of Light, the Shadow Fiend both get distracted, both waste their time on the illusion, while he swarms down the Tusk. He gets a kill on the Tusk, and he gets out, all thanks to impeccable micromanagement, insane mind games, and this short Doppelganger cooldown. Just everything combining together to make the perfect play, and that in of itself has sold me on this Epidemic team. Like, they have so many things to offer with just these little plays here and there, and Mambos, holy sh, man, that's a highlight reel material right there. We're gonna see at the Speed of Life caught out with the track against him, but he's really not afraid. He's got the blink, he's got the double damage, and he's got support from his allies. Looking at overall items, we've got 3 blinks up for ABRAXAS, so they have really good engaging tools. The Clinks looks to be going for a BKB now, which is pretty interesting. there is a lot to be worried about, but there's also quite a few things that go through BKB. It's going to be a Yule's combo coming out on the Clinks now, and with Kure dropping the Soundbite, they have a guaranteed kill on Ascendancy. They just have to back off quickly because this double damage Blink SF wants Kranich's blood, doesn't go for the Shadow Ray. Lena's a little bit too quick, so they just go for the easier kill in the Queen of Pain, whose Blink was on cooldown. Villic getting caught out here is, I believe, dusted. No, actually dodges out the ice shards here, and he's going to be okay. He was under a sentry ward for the moment, but he got away, and Pone will once again be slain by the PL. Mambos on a killing spree, and Villic just baiting him into it. Now in the mid lane, we're going to see a TP away. Looks like the Night Stalker opened with Void, and you just can't do that, even against a lowly support. He's going to be able to get the TP home before you can burst him down solo. So overall, Epidemic are really bringing this game back through just a couple of really smooth plays, and you can see this graph zigzagging up and down, and now starting to favor Epidemic, at least in experience. Will be the top tier 1 though, claimed by the Shadow Fiend, and that's map control across the board. I mean, they have their mid tier 1, which is probably the best for kind of having a proxy to any fight, and then of course they've taken out not only the tier 2 mid, but all the tier 1 towers. So, we're going to see here, Zenigata looking to control the map. Ascendancy is with him. Has some decent burst damage, but I don't think that they have a guaranteed kill. This is like a 60% for a kill, and I think there might be some risk as far as their own deaths, but we're going to see the Clinks burst down pretty quickly. Really good target to focus, and they will finish him off. In the meantime, Kranich will be fingered, and that is going to leave Wyvern to drop the curse and run. They cannot go into this zone because they will be taunted and disabled, and actually Kure sticks around too long and gets silenced. This guy just getting caught out too many times by Sables, having some real issues. Mambos now gonna be able to get the perch on SF so that he cannot be pursued, but at the speed of life just holds his ground and fires away like a siege tank. Shadow Rays after Shadow Rays, he brings him down. Nice blink play there, and really making use of these mobility tools. The Sanjin Yasha gives him 411 movement speed, the Blink Dagger gives him that extra range of 1200 units. So by combining those two together, he can be anywhere he wants to in the fight, and so far it's done him really good. Because they're not really focusing him, honestly. They're focusing like all their burst damage on this Clinks. They're just nuking down Ascendancy, and in the process, this SF, who has not built mech or BKB, is getting away with murder. Literally 3-1-1. He's doing really well for himself, and I would have to say that when you look at the lineup, a Diffusal PL, a Yule's Lina, Queen of Pain, like these heroes could absolutely destroy a Shadow Fiend that doesn't have a BKB, but because At the Speed of Life is staying back until he wants to engage, waiting for 1 or 2 spells to be on cooldown, he's actually able to just destroy his targets, and now he can buy something like a BKB and man up even harder, because he's already farmed 4,500 gold. So he's got the Aegis Immortal, he will be purchasing a BKB, and now he has no weaknesses, no scratch, all the scratches in the armor have been repaired, and this guy can just pretty much bring all the pain in the world. He's going to get another really nice wave of farm up top, and this is going to set up At the Speed of Life to just continue to dominate the game. Down bottom, Queen of Pain, and she's not had the best game. She actually was, did she sell her Blade of Alacrity? Oh my, maybe that was a, I want to say that was somebody else's Blade of Alacrity. I didn't highlight it, so I actually didn't check the name of whoever purchased it, and I want to just say that I was mistaken, because I really hope she didn't just waste 500 gold, assuming she gets a free Aghanim Scepter, and then she dies 3 times and can't get it. Mambos, nice play here, bursting down Zenigata, crippled or not, he will be able to bring him down. And that's without the Sonic Wave needed. It'll get the Queen of Pain her BKB. Oh, Clanks moving in. There's going to be a nice little jump here, and that Medallion Strafe is going to bring him down. Just one blink hit from the Shadow Fiend, as well as wasting the Yules, is enough to set up Ascendancy for the kill. And they don't really have anything to push off of it, but they can farm safely anywhere. And look at these wards. About to expire on the northern front, pretty fresh on the southern one, but these give them the full understanding of the map, and they're able to take a fully aggressive position here in terms of farm. Pone, haven't really seen much from him, but it looks like he's going to go for a Desolator to further enhance his allies' damage output. So Clinks can build defensive and still keep the pace when it comes to putting out those spells and putting out those right clicks. And I really don't think we've seen that much in terms of track kills. I would say like maybe 3 track kills at most. And you can tell because look at the Bounty Hunter's net worth. Villic is 4,600 net worth. He's 9th place in terms of net worth, only dwarfing the Winter Wyvern's net worth count. And usually that's not the case. Usually the Clinks, with enough tracks spammed out, can actually get higher net worth than the enemy offlaner. In this case, he is bottom of the barrel beneath both enemy supports, and it's because they just haven't gotten enough big kills. Now Zenigata, though, a free track kill for them that will already put him close to the Night Stalker's net worth value. And those are critical. I mean, Bounty Hunter needs items to really be relevant. The Medallion and Urn are good items, very cost-effective, but they're not going to be putting him in a commanding position. So you can see here already just 347 for the track. Wyvern gets the kill, so 450 for him. And obviously the Night Stalker loses some as well. Ooh, this could be dangerous though if they get the initiation. Only an Observer Ward here, not a Sentry. So it looks like Villic will be fine. Still, it seems like ABRAXAS have just had enough of this nonsense. They know that they're strong with this Aegis Immortal. They're going to go in and actually get the jump here onto the Tusk. They're going to dust it. They're going to bring down the Bounty Hunter. He was not in Viz. He just placed a Sentry Ward to detect that ward and realized too late that he had just revealed himself to the enemy. So they jump in, they punish his position, and now they take a free tier 2. I think this was actually slated to fall anyways, just because of how strong SF is right now, but yeah, obviously the Bounty Hunter death doesn't help that situation. Manta Styles for Mambos. Lion actually dying to the illusions, having some trouble here. The snowball is there to save Luffy, but man, that was close. Alright, and now the Queen of Pain is going to be looking for an Aghanim Scepter next. She has her BKB. She really wants that Aghanim Scepter, but she just wasn't able to find it because she died so many times. Switched over to the BKB, now she's able to become immune to the silence, immune to the line disables, etc. But still going to be taking some good hits from the Walrus Punch. The Clinks has now -10 armor on his medallion because he upgraded it to the Solar Crest. And that's going to really make it easy to burst down a single target. Kranich is initiating here with the Shadow Blade. Bit of a risky pickup with the Bounty Hunter on your team already, but he's just going to be able to get, if he can get 1 kill off on it with the surprise attack, then maybe it's worth it. Sentry Ward and Observer combo coming down. Kranich cannot cross this line without being completely scattered out, and the same goes for Villic. Villic is now in the kill zone, and if they jumped him and Ice Shards him, he actually would have been dead. But they don't know where the teammates are, they don't know where the reinforcements are, and it looks like Kure is caught out once again. BKB or not, that Blink Hex punishes him. And Zenigata just picked up the trump card, I would say. Zenigata having this Aghanim Scepter, once they buy a Geometry Sight, which anybody can buy at this point, like Tusk has enough money for it, Lion has enough money for it, Shadow Fiend about to have enough money for it. If they buy a Geometry Sight for Zenigata, they completely control the map. They can detect all invisible heroes within 1,100 units of the Night Stalker, while he runs around at 465 on just brown boots. And of course, he'll be able to see within 1,800 clear vision, all at nighttime. Really, really strong. So far, though, they haven't invested in the gem. It looks like Lion wants to finish that Ags. Tusk, probably the Desolator. So Zenigata will be farming it himself, and that'll take 700 more gold. They're going to push prior to that, though. No Aegis. They did just get the Scotty on the Shadow, bringing his health pool up to 2,600. So 30% evasion, plus 10 armor. This guy's not going down easy, that's for sure. Still, though, I would have to say Epidemic have a comeback opportunity here. They have really good combat potential in choke points. And obviously the high ground, it really does funnel you into this single position, unless you have the Aegis to siege with. So we're going to see right now, Sheriff kind of staying back as best he can. And And they're just going to hold off for now. Kranich making a Shadow Blade move. I don't think that'll work out for them. There is, of course, a Sentry in play. There's not really good flanking movement that Kranich can make, but I guess they're going to go right here on the high ground for the Light Strike Array. Death Pact comes out from the Clinks, keeps on spamming the Solar Crest, and so far they're able to just chip and chip at this tower, but really not make much relevant progress. Villic comes out. They're just waiting for them to make a mistake, and they almost made it as Villic went into Sentry World range. But Mambos, in the meantime, pushes out the mid lane, just popping his Doppelganger, and there's going to be the jump onto Shadow Fiend. He is going to be saved by the Snowball, but they can't heal him back up. He's just going to BKB Requiem and run away. Now we're going to see on the front line Kure, without any armor, still fighting well with this BKB. They can't cancel Luffy's TP, they go into Pwn instead. If they get the Shadow Strike, they can prevent the blink, but no, it's already too late. He's gone. And that means that they actually didn't lose anyone. They did use the 10-second BKB on the Shadow Fiend, but otherwise they keep everything intact as they disengage. Nice snowball there from Tusk, actually saving the day. Otherwise, Shadow Fiend was dead to rights. Kure gonna be hit by the Cold Embrace. He's fine. Zenigata not so much. Gonna be burst down very, very quickly by both the Queen of Pain and the Bounty Hunter. It just takes one more hit with the Scream to bring him down. Shadow Fiend will fall to the Phantom Lancer while Pwn cleans up the Queen of Pain on the tail end of it. Now Ascendancy trying to run away. He is tracked up, and he will be purged by the PL. So Ascendancy is going down for sure. Seni going to be able to glimmer away from trouble, leaving Kranich actually in a really bad spot. They can't keep him alive long enough, and that is going to be the death of the Lina. Now it's going to be the Winter Wyvern heading out, Arctic Burning High Ground, and TPing home. And it looks like everybody's just split up and head for the hills. Oh, what a bloodbath. 3 for 2. It is favorable for Epidemic, but they want more than just a few hero kills. They want this Roshan, and I'm not sure if they can guarantee it. I mean, Night Stalker's coming back in soon. Obviously, the Sigil can scout things out when it comes back up, or Pwn himself can just suspect it, and this is taking a very, very long time. So yeah, they can't take Roshan just yet. In fact, they're just looking for a kill, and they can't bait Pwn into it. So all in all, Roshan holds strong around 8,000 HP. And we're just going to see the tracks fly out. Night Stalker does not have the gem. In fact, he's far from it. Just running Destined Sentry for the moment.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So at least for now, I would say ABRAXAS have a pretty good handle on the game. The Shadow Fiend is at a very strong point right now, but I have to say that it's not always gonna last forever. I mean, absolutely could go for like a Butterfly or a Satanic or something and look to just outlast his opponents in the next couple of fights, but in the end, I would have to say that Epidemic have the stronger core heroes. They can do more with items, they just have to get those items. Lead needs that Aghanim, she's still going to be 2,200 gold away from it. And look how fast this Roshan falls. The second that Epidemic leave the pit with the Solar Crest, the Sanji Yasha the Scotty, Roshan can't do anything to defend himself, and Luffy finds a nice jump onto Mambos. Can they burst down this PL? They get the Crippling Fear. He's got to purge himself. He can't. And even if he did, he didn't have the Doppelganger off cooldown. So they lose the Bounty Hunter and the PL immediately. Glimmer will keep Kure up for now, but I'm not sure if it's enough. Ice Shards and the Snowball going to come out on to actually Kure, as Sene just gets killed off by the Walrus Punch. They do get the return kill on the Tusk, but by bringing down that Wyvern, I think they open up more high ground possibilities with this Wyvern's buyback being on cooldown. I don't think that ABRAXAS are aware of how Wyvern's gold has been coming and going, so they might think that he has buyback, but we can see that he does not, and this means that they could just go right to the high ground, wasting strafe on fortification, but now baiting in Kranich with the blink jump. Oh, that's a huge pickup, and one that Epidemic could not afford. Having just picked up the Aghanim Scepter, Lina has no money for buyback. PL has jumped back into it, but he can't even hold his racks. This is actually futile. It's going to be ABRAXAS taking the entire bottom lane and probably walking away with that happy. Ascendancy pops the BKB to avoid the Diffusal Purge, keeping his mana intact and Shadow walking away. But my oh my, that Lina pick facilitated a very easy jump. And that Rax will give the Night Stalker his gem for sure. Yeah, and probably tier 2 boots as well. I mean, you could say for buyback, but you know, buyback isn't really the most important thing when you've got all 3 tier 2 towers up. Like, if you die as a level 14 hero, and your enemy is able to push out all the creep waves, push out the tier 2, and get to your Rax, then you've got bigger problems than just not having buyback. Like, the game has gone 60 minutes at that point, and the towers are a non-factor. Right now, at 36 minutes, he can buy out. He can spend his gold liberally, and that's fine. He will, however, save away from these tier 2 boots, and he will instead go for the Void Stone, which can turn into a number of items. Yules is definitely possible, but obviously you can consider items like this Lotus Orb or the Liquid Sphere, and see what you can do with that. Now we're going to see this jump here, and just look at the Radiant Vision right now. They can actually see full clear vision. They can't see the Lina because the gem's out of range, but they have a ton of nighttime clear vision with this Night Stalker, Aghanims, and that allows them to just siege very aggressively. Zenigata sees everything right now, and they know what they're up against. However, the Shadow Fiend doesn't have a natural way to heal up. He doesn't have any lifesteal, so he is going to actually be sitting around and waiting for the urns to kind of build him back up. He's going to be bringing up the Quarterstaff for the Butterfly, but I'm not sure where he'll get the other Oh, whoa! Kranich getting nuked down pretty heavily there by the Finger of Death, and they're going to actually just go hard on these racks, popping the BKBs. There's going to be the curse onto Ascendancy, making it so the Shadow Fiend cannot retreat, and he will lose the Aegis. But now they're going to look to turn around onto Pangos, nuking him as best they can. He'll Manta, but he's still being focused down. Nice Doppelganger keeps him up, and Queen of Pain buys back into the fight. Kranich connects with an LSA onto Ascendancy, bursting him down quickly. It looks like he'll fall, and they're going to look for more. Going in, they've got at least one track up here. No, none of these heroes are tracked, and they're all going to be able to sneak away. Just blinking and jumping, and Pwn is home. Oh my, the Yule's coming off cooldown just now. A little bit too late. We actually see that Shadow Fiend is still in an awkward spot. He got the regen rune from the Aegis, I think, and now he's going to be going down. No, he just got a regular regen rune. The Aegis was used in the high ground. So yeah, just the regeneration rune that he kind of stayed a little bit too long for, and this Dire Observer Ward scouts him out. Now SF in the grave for 70 seconds. Does complete his Butterfly, buying out because he thinks that these racks are probably unsiegeable, and I can't say that I disagree. I mean, Winter's Curse isn't up for 30 seconds, and there is a 20-second cooldown of Finger of Death on their side, so it's really, really difficult to push into this, if not impossible. But it looks like they want to try. Kranich going for the BOTs to the front line, and they're going to put what damage they can in. In the meantime, though, the mid is being pushed out, and there's no tier 3 to defend this range barracks. They're going to lose 2 full lanes of Rex just trying to siege 1, and I don't think they can actually take it. Sonic Wave off cooldown in 40 seconds. Oh, Finger brings down the Lina. She has buyback, but BOTs are on cooldown for another 20 seconds, and her buyback would just be to clear out the mid wave first and foremost. So they're just going to retreat, and just like that, the Shadow Fiend has no regrets at all about not buying back, and Villic looks like he'll just die. Ice Shards come out. He was caught within the Central Ward's range for a moment. Now they'll catch him out again and send him to the heavens. The Bounty Hunter down for the count. So they do have their range racks, and that's only 1.5 racks of advantage, but that's still pretty substantial for Abraxas, as the SF just got one of his big items. At this point, all he needs is treads turning into BOTs, and then he can either turn his Blink or his S and Y into a Satanic. At that point, this man is indestructible, he's unassailable, he is just too damn strong. You can also consider Crit, but I think the lifesteal would give him the survivability he needs against every hero but the PL. You can survive the Queen of Pain and the Lina nukes very nicely with that extra health and health restoration. And then, of course, you just have to worry from that point forward about PL getting 10,000 illusions striking against you. So, looking at our final item count here, we're going to be looking at AC coming out on the Radiant Courier. It's going to be going to the Tusk very, very shortly. Just actually needs the measly little chain and he's good to go. The Clinks looks like he's going for a Butterfly himself, and the reason for that is that there are no Monkey King bars on the side of Epidemic. Obviously, running this much evasion, the Solar Crest, and now 2 Butterflies, as well as the Crippling Fear Mischance, all of that can be very redundant and therefore very countered by the Monkey King bar. But they're not actually worried about that because PL doesn't want to build an MKB until his 6th slot. Like, if PL had 5,000 more net worth, this is not the item Clinks would want to build. Actually, he's going to be in some trouble here. Kranis goes for the Yules instead of the LSA. He can't do anything, and now Shadow Fiend just kills him off. Ascendancy gonna be doing some damage to Vlik. No, it's gonna be actually the Winter's Curse bringing Ascendancy down if Corey just gets a little bit more damage. No, Ascendancy pops the BKB and forces the Queen of Pain to blink back. Even the Winter's Curse of his ally couldn't bring Ascendancy down. And that just was an odd way to start the fight from Kranich. If you're invisible, you can start the Light Strike array without actually revealing yourself until the cast animation is done, which is a really strong way to initiate from Invis. But he goes for the Yules to set up the Light Strike array when the Clinks has a BKB. So even if they were able to focus him down for the next 5 seconds straight, it could have just popped the BKB and survived. But with at the speed of light taking out a quarter of Lena's health with each right click, they immediately forced Epidemic on the defensive, and it just shows how poorly planned that start was from Epidemic. So ABRAXAS now have potential to wait out the Roshan. It's going to be spawning here in 2 minutes and 15 seconds, though, and I'm not sure if they are that patient. I mean, they already have such a significant advantage right now. 15,000 net worth, 12,000 experience. ABRAXAS really could look to take high ground even before then. They have so much pressure, and they don't want the PL to pick up an MKB this game, let alone the Scotty that he seems to be looking towards right now. Right now he's got a Ultimate Orb, Morbid Mask, a Drum, and yeah, he is going to be finishing that Scotty first and foremost as he brings the point booster out from the secret shop. Does that buy him out, though? Yes, he is 1,000 gold short of buyback as he gets the items on the Courier, and that Courier almost got picked off. Actually, that Tusk could have finished that off, and that would have been pretty much GG. If you buy that much on the Courier, invest in your entire buyback worth into an item that you don't actually get, then you pretty much lose the game from this position. But Pwn doesn't find the Courier, and PL does get those nice, juicy stats, which his illusions will be able to take full use out of. Agate Gem Nightstalker still controlling the map, making it very difficult for Vlik to kind of scout anything out, actually. I mean, we have a Dire Ward right in the middle lane. They had one in this plateau. That's gone. And I don't think Vlik feels safe moving out at all. He's not going to be able to track much more, and not being able to lead with tracks means that those, even if you break even in the fight, you're not profiting nearly as much as a Bounty Hunter lineup should. Now the Shadow Fiend has that Satanic up, buys out for it, completely agreed. This item makes him almost unkillable, unless they put both ultimates, the Lena's and the Queen of Pains, onto the Shadow Fiend, with the PL getting a good 7-8 seconds of time to damage him at the speed of life is absolutely fine with the BKB Satanic as far as survivability. So he's got 30, 200 HP, switches over to Agi Tread because at this point strength and health is not his issue, and he's just going to be able to attack a little bit faster and lifesteal all the more. So great position for Shadow Fiend to be in. He's got the double damage rune, and he is just an absolute monster. This guy could take on 100 Phantom Lancer illusions, I'd say. I mean, this just so much potential. And of course he's enhanced by the Assault Cross, maybe the Desolator. They can put Solar Crest on either Clinks or on Shadow Fiend and give them that source of evasion. You want to put it on your allies now because the PL is having like 8 different sources of attacks coming in, and you want to evade all of those. If you put the Solar Crest in just one hero, like the Queen of Pain or like the PL, then all the illusions and the other hero are all still attacking at full potential. So I'm expecting to see the Solar Crest used defensively once again, either just not being used and giving Clinks free evasion, or being used and giving that Shadow Fiend even more survivability. Right now the evasion count is... I guess I'd have to do the math on that a little bit more, but it looks like... Yeah, that's gonna be about 47.5% evasion. So, stacking multiplicatively, you're evading almost half the attacks coming at you if you're the Clinks. You're evading even more than that if you're the Shadow Fiend. And Mambos, he just needs the Monkey King bar. It's make or break for him. He has to farm the Monkey King bar before the next Rax push, or he is done for. So I'm trying to think about how Epidemic can buy that time, and I think the best way to do it is actually a smoke play. If they can just push out one more wave, they can go for a smoke play and find a jump, but otherwise it's really difficult. And it's also really difficult to do at nighttime. I mean, Night Stalker, like I've talked about, this guy has so much vision. This is all radiant vision, just this giant blob of information that's going to be coming in for the Night Stalker. And most of this, 2/3 of this, are under True Sight as well. So most likely, they're going to be breaking smoke of Epidemic before Epidemic actually know where their enemies are, and they're not going to be able to really make a jump very easily, especially if Darkness is active. Darkness will reduce their vision to 675 at most, instead of the normal 800 at nighttime. And obviously they can't afford a Moon Shard to counteract that. So what that means is, even if they go for a smoke play, if it's at nighttime, and particularly during darkness, they actually still will not surprise their enemies. They'll get caught out before that happens. Actually going to be Pone, an interesting spot here. He's got cheese, so he's confident to just go in with the snowball. Actually snowballing out, so Shadow Fiend can go in with the BKB Requiem. Kranich going to be taking massive damage here. Mambos will kill off Luffy, but that's just the Lion. That's only the support. They're buying back on the Lina. They have 2 more heroes to buy back with, but they've got to do it soon. Satanic is going to come out on the Shadow Fiend in just a moment here, and he's going to be attacking the Lina, who's actually now under the snowball. Another Walrus Punch knocks her to the skies, and she has died back. She cannot back into this fight. Mambos will kill off Pone, but in the meantime, the Rax are all dead. Shadow Fiend has the Satanic coming up in just a moment. Just gonna blink out and leave Ascendancy to finish the Rax. No! The Mega Creeps, they're so close. The Range Rex has fallen in mid, and it's 60 HP with the Aegis. Clinks will finish it off, make the Mega Creeps happen, and now Mambos is going to have to wipe them all out if he has any chance. Kure will get hit by his own Shadow Strike, and it looks like they'll leave it at that. Now, many people will wonder why At the Speed of Light was not using his Satanic there on the front line. And the reason was he wasn't in range of a guaranteed lifesteal target, because Satanic or just basic lifesteal will not work on illusions. If you're hitting an illusion and you're not going to be lifestealing from those attacks, and all he was in attack range of was like PL illusions one, and if he just happens to not catch out which one's the real one, then he's going to be wasting that entire Satanic duration. So he holds on to it and waits for them to man up harder against him. In the end, he doesn't need it at all. And yeah, they've taken Mega Creeps now, which nearly guarantees their win. At this point, Epidemic would need an absolute miracle to come back, and I just don't see it. I mean, Roshan's not up for a long, long time. Creeps are constantly putting pressure out. Mambos did finally finish that Monkey King bar, which is, like I said, a game changer, but now he has more to deal with than just the enemy's evasion. They've got, yeah, their Butterfly, their Solar Crest, their other Butterfly are kind of irrelevant now, but he has 1,000 creeps to fight up against, and while he is pretty strong at it, his allies aren't. I mean, Queen of Pain can wave one wave and scream it twice, and that'll get the kill on it, but he barely has the mana for that, and he always exposes himself when he goes in that kind of position. So that's ABRAXAS waiting for their opportunity to finish them all.
Money changes hands.
Still, they'll try to keep it up. They know they have the full best of 3 ahead of them, so they're not really ready to give up the goat just yet. Luffy initiates on the Mambos, though. Can he get this doppelganger off? Oh, just barely going to be able to fill all these silences and jump out, wasting the Requiem entirely. And glimmering in at the speed of life will be eating a Witch's Curse. Unfortunately, there's no follow-up. They don't focus on Shadow Fiend, and he pops the BKB. Now trying to lifesteal, he's only hitting illusions. Now he finds the real one and just keeps right-clicking him down. Satanic doing work, but the Cold Embrace actually helping out here, and this is going to be an extended play. Finally, they bring down 4 heroes on the side, and that, with the help of the Mega Creeps, will be the GG in favor of ABRAXAS. They are now up 1-0 in this best of 3 series, and they are putting Epidemic within match point of elimination. They do not want to be eliminated here. They want to advance to Division 1. They want to have a shot at the MLG Pro League main event, LAN events, and it's not going to happen without 2 consecutive wins now. Epidemic on the ropes, ABRAXAS looking strong. We'll